Hello. I just sent a message to Ram Garu that I'm live. Where is my apple? Nenu ila live lo kuchunanante. She takes my phone and runs. Mila and Morphle is her new favorite show. Hey, 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 Ramu, I see you. Go live. All right. I'm super excited. I hope all of y'all are too.
Hi.
Okay. Hi, sir. How are you?
Sir, what is this sir deal, man? Anyway, I am as bad as usual and as terrible as ever.
Fantastic. I couldn't wait to hear that. Chovolkanta sweet ga
Yes.
impichindu. Thank you.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure you set it right because konchum me face blurry ga undi.
Yeah.
Can you see me clearly?
Yes, I can see you. What? What's the problem?
Me face blurry ga undi. You can't see
Very
your
good.
face at all. Asal clear gaane ledu.
Let me just
Me
change
phone
mine.
lo unnara.
Yeah.
I think if it's, can you be
No.
on your iPad or your laptop or?
Oh, I don't know. Just let me come back.
Yeah, please. No worries. No worries. Ramu garu phone మీద నుంచి వస్తున్నారు. So on the phone it's blurry. So I told him to come back in a little bit. So guys, what do you want me to ask him? Come on, నేను ఏవో రాసి పెట్టుకున్నాను, but it's always more fun when I get some interesting questions from you. So tell me, did you see my necklace? It says not in service. I used to wear this when I go on holidays, but I thought it would be perfect right now. Hello, 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 everybody. Hello. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nildi's fine, okay. ఎక్కడున్నాను ఇంట్లో ఉంటాను ఇంకెక్కడుంటాను అడిగే ప్రశ్న when's my first kiss really నీకు ఆ దోలు వచ్చిందా ఇప్పుడు let me tell you it's been a long time. Oh, I look dazzling. Thank you. Why you marry no na my name is Vijay chi manchiga maatladan ma bad oddu. Ask openly to RG. Yeah, what do you want me to ask? Oh, and Ramu nakante ekku Ramu garu is more open than what I can ask him. Nene కొన్ని public forum lo enna adagalo I have to be careful about. She's upstairs on my paper, Papa. Hi Neha, I love you more. Hi Prakash Gaji, how are you? My Kannada accents. Please ask to Rajiv, what is your features? What you features in olden days? Ardangala. Okay, what do you learn from quarantine days, Adonai? Oh, Suman, ఈ మధ్య silent గా ఉన్నారా? Okay, that's interesting. రాసుకుంటున్నా. Why are you silent? Oh, we love the conversation of TNR and Vishnu sir. Really, Vishnu sir is great. Yes, he is. He's my lovely brother. Oh, you loved my Suki Burna. You liked my live with Anshika. Thank you. We're still trying to find time to do a yoga video. It's been quite difficult. Suddenly we've gotten so busy. I was reading an article today where people were saying sudden time chala త్వరగా వెళ్తున్నట్టు అనిపిస్తుంది because your brain has gotten adjusted to this timelines or something. I don't know. Actually, just for me, it's like running, waking up, taking care of Papa, like so many more things that I'm doing that I would not do because ఇంతకు ముందు ఏదైనా బోర్ కొడితే ఓకే ఇంటికి వెళ్ళాలా వద్దా జిమ్కి వెళ్దామా వద్దా now everything is at home and I think I'm just getting pre uh, self creative, you know, otherwise ఎన్ని లైవ్లు చేస్తున్నాను నాకే. I know he got on the phone, London for New York. Biggest fan of your talking style. Thank you. తెలుగులోనే మాట్లాడాలని ఉంది కానీ నాకు ఫాస్ట్గా మాట్లాడేటప్పుడు నేను క్వశ్చన్స్ ఆలోచించేటప్పుడు నాకు తెలుగు కంటే ఎక్కువ ఇంగ్లీష్లో ఫ్రేమింగ్ సరిగ్గా వస్తుందని ఇంగ్లీష్ వచ్చేస్తుంది నాకు, లేకపోతే నాదేదో యాస. Prakash Gaiji, I will ask him if there are any Bollywood projects coming. Projects. Bruce Lee. Ramu Garu connected with his phone and I didn't, he was blurry, so I told him to come back on his iPad or on his laptop. So he said, I need to download చేసుకుంటున్నారేమో చూద్దాం. ఇష్క్ కా రాజా నీతో లైవ్ రావాలా నేను? థ్యాంక్స్ మేడం. Who? Oh, you should read Ramu's books and listen to his interviews. Abhinava Abhi sent you. Ramu just sent me a live request. Ammo intamandi. Ramu Garu, if you're here, can you please just say hi again because what it takes to be with RGV. Hi, Shabana. Wow. Sir, you have to say hi to me. Don't send me a request, but just say hi to me because I have to leave the live to go to that. I know you're sending me. Can you say hi to me, sir? I'm here, Rani. There. I see you. You're back. Hopefully now.
Yes. Hi.
There you go. So much better. Oh, yes. Now I can see your face. I'm glad you took your time and went to it. Welcome back.
Yes. Yeah.
మిమ్మల్ని అసలు
I'm
అడిగిపడైన
not able to see your moment, man.
మిమ్మల్ని.
Yeah. What?
What did you say? Can you?
Yeah, no, I'm not able to see you move. I don't know, some technical glitch. Yeah, it's fine now. Is it fine now?
I can see you clearly. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
And see me?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome to lockdown. I think you must be
Well,
loving
no
it,
one
huh?
can. It's because I always live in my mind. I don't care. The place doesn't make a difference.
అదే అందుకే it's just you. And how is it looking at the world comes to a full stop?
Actually, honestly, Lakshmi, I think a lot of people are taking advantage, and I think enta bad ga undo anta good antakana good ekku undani na feeling, because human mind is fantastic at adapting to no matter what the situation is. So I guess I mean, if nannu adigithe, frankly, I'm actually enjoying as much as before. There's no difference at all. Some things may be less, some things may be more. Yeah.
Well, what are those less and more with Ramu is what we want to know. What have you been doing these days apart from tweeting and
I'm just
cakifying
working.
people?
I'm working on new scripts, of course, and Enter the Girl Dragon, the martial art film I'm making. I'm editing that, And guess
ఎంతవరకు వచ్చింది అది? I mean, the visuals
అయిపోయింది.
look fantastic.
షూట్ మొత్తం అయిపోయింది. ఐ జస్ట్ హ్యావ్ అబౌట్ 4 days బిఫోర్ ఈ లాక్డౌన్ వచ్చేసి 4 days షూట్ పోస్ట్పోన్ అయింది. అదర్వైజ్ ఇట్ వాస్
Ah,
ఫ్యాంటాస్టిక్.
the girl looks fantastic. Tell us something about her.
Yeah, she's a martial
అంత
artist. She's like a taekwondo
ఇండియాలో
champion.
అంత స్ట్రాంగ్ మార్షల్ ఆర్టిస్ట్ ఎక్కడ పట్టారో మీరు?
నేను రోడ్ మీద నడుస్తూ ఉంటే ఒక చోట రాయి కింద దొరికింది.
Seriously, because what did she go through to get that role? Because it's not like
Yeah.
women, especially in India, are not so progressive with being
See,
in martial arts.
నేను యాక్చువల్గా చాలా మార్షల్ ఆర్టిస్ట్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్స్కి నేను ఐ మీన్ ఐ సెంట్ లెటర్ సేయింగ్ ఐమ్ లుకింగ్ ఫర్ ఫీమేల్ మార్షల్ ఆర్టిస్ట్ ఫర్ స్క్రిప్ట్ అని. అండ్ మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద టైమ్ అసలు యాక్చువల్గా ఇండియాలో మార్షల్ ఆర్ట్స్ ఉండదే తక్కువ.
అవును.
Most of them have very athletic bodies. In terms
Bodies.
of phase, they don't almost like I mean, men la ఉంటారు ఒక విధంగా చెప్పాలంటే. So I needed a girl who looks like a girl and then have an expertise. So finally I managed to find her in Pune.
Mm,
Yeah.
nice. So, you were one of the first pioneers to have started digital format or being out there. I think you were one of the first persons to start tweeting uh, in the way that you have in the consistency in the one of the pioneers of it. Digital format. Can you hear me or is there
Yeah, I can hear you.
disturbance?
I can hear you. Yeah.
A digital format lo shoot cheyadam kuda you were one of the pioneers.
I shot a
Look,
film on your feet.
yes, you did.
Yes.
You did, and that was only you can come up with something so brilliant like that. What do you see cinema being? Because Malli Mandi shooting location lo undi shooting cheyadam enta twaraga jarugutunnadi. Do you
See,
see that happening anytime soon?
I'm very sure it will happen very soon because it's an ongoing situation. Everybody is speculating and nobody knows really both the positive and negative space. Our pitching theory చెప్తున్నారు. But in my experience, I've never seen ఒక kind of ఉపద్రవం అంటే ఒక disaster, ఒక unexpected kind of a impairment వచ్చినప్పుడు people tend to work very fast to get back to the normal. That is actually the truth of the matter.
Psyche of
Yeah, correct.
human
చిన్న
psyche antara.
ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్పాలంటే సెకండ్ వరల్డ్ వార్లో మ్యాక్సిమం డ్యామేజ్ జపాన్కి జరిగింది బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ది ఇన్ సీజన్ బాంబింగ్ అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ ద అటామిక్ బాంబ్. అండ్ వరల్డ్ లీడర్స్ ఎవ్రీ ఎక్స్పర్ట్ ప్రెడిక్టెడ్ అట్లీస్ట్ 70 ఏళ్ళు పడుతుంది జపాన్కి మళ్ళీ రావడానికి కాలం మీద. హార్డ్లీ 4 years వచ్చేసారు మళ్ళీ. దే ఆల్మోస్ట్ బికేమ్ లైక్ యాజ్ బిగ్ మేబీ బిగ్గర్ దెన్ బిఫోర్. So I think once the basic lockdown is lifted, people will come with a vengeance to work. That is what my prediction is. You know? The
But
doomsday.
how safe are they going to feel with all
I mean,
that?
safe and it is okay. I am not an expert like a doctor to understand what safety measures are. But the point is, I guess we have to live with it. You know.
Yeah.
Let's say, నా opinion though, there are so many things which can cause a danger కానీ ఒక డెత్ కానీ ఒక అందులో కరోనా వైరస్ జాయిన్ అయింది. సో ఐ టిల్ టుడే ఐఎమ్ నాట్ వెరీ షూర్ ఇఫ్ వీఆర్ ఫియరింగ్ ద వైరస్ ఆర్ వీఆర్ ఫియరింగ్ ద ఫియర్. ఐ థింక్ ఇట్స్ లైక్
Double-edged sword.
డబ్బులు ఇస్తాం. ఐ డోంట్ నో, మనం భయపడటానికి అందరూ భయపడుతున్నాం, మనం భయపడుతున్నాం, యాక్చువల్ వైరస్ భయపడుతున్నాం అనేది దెర్ ఇస్ బికాస్ ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ యు సీ వరల్డ్ ఓవర్ ఐఎమ్ షూర్ different governments are having different attitude towards how to tackle it. You know?
Yes.
So most of the time, now the leaders are being super extra cautious, just in case something goes wrong.
Because the way it's spreading and how it
Spreading
affects
is
older
fine.
people.
No, spreading is fine. But the point is, on the other side, the argument, if you shut down the economy, the danger that causes could be actually greater, which I think will be greater. You know, in terms of the
Life versus economy, right? Isn't that a double-edged sword?
hunger based deaths కానీ లేకపోతే వేరియస్ అదర్ వేస్ సోషల్ లైఫ్ ని ఎఫెక్ట్ చేయడం, ఐఎమ్ షూర్ దట్ ఆల్సో ఇస్ యాజ్ మచ్ as if not more.
Yeah.
ఎవెన్చువల్లీ హ్యావ్. అంటే ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే మన దగ్గర ఇప్పుడు ఎంతవరకు ఒక క్లారిటీ డెఫినెట్గా మేక్ అయిపోతుంది లేకపోతే జూన్కి అయిపోతుంది అని కూడా ఎవరు చెప్పారు. యూనో దే సేయింగ్ ఇట్ విల్ కమ్ బ్యాక్ ఇన్ ద ఫాల్, దే సేయింగ్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు లివ్ విత్ ఇట్. వ్యాక్సిన్ వచ్చే వరకు రాదు, వ్యాక్సిన్ వచ్చేదానికి 1.5 years, then you can't indefinitely shut down the whole society.
So that's where we start coming up with new ideas and new ways
I think
making
we'll come
movies.
up with ways of how to do a kind of a halfway. I mean, ఇలాంటి పరిస్థితుల్లో మళ్ళీ ఎలా మనం రీఇన్వెంట్ చేసుకుని ఇది ఉంటుంది. సో ఐ థింక్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ న్యూ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఫిల్మ్స్ విల్ కమ్ అండ్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ న్యూ వేస్.
There was a video of Naomi Campbell shooting with a man, completely in a PPE dress and mask and everything, and he was shooting something for her YouTube channel. I said, will people start wearing masks and PPE kits on location? It's going to be interesting, I feel. Because Nake, with I mean, I've been talking to a lot of experts because of my IGTV live, and just trying to understand what it is and the dynamics of what we are going to be looking at. Because Manakoda, Naku, I'm enjoying this. I mean, look at you. Me time తీసుకొని నాకు లొకేషన్ లో ఒక టాక్ షోకి రావాలంటే ప్రాణం తల ప్రాణం తోక్కొచ్చేది. ఇప్పుడు చూడండి ఇలా పట్టాను, మీరు ఎక్కడున్నా పర్వాలేదు, కమ్ ఆన్.
This is exactly నేను చెప్పేది. See,
I want to
we will use the technology much more and we'll understand more about technology of communication because మనకి ఇప్పుడు ఛాన్స్ లేదు కాబట్టి. At the same time, like one of my friends, he works in IT, so he's working from home. And so తన వైఫ్ చూసి 2-3 రోజులు ఇంతో పని కోసం మీరు ఆఫీస్కి ఎందుకు వెళ్తారని అడిగినాక, ఇంతో పనికి ఆఫీస్కి ఎందుకు వెళ్తారు, అసలు ఇక్కడే చేసుకోవచ్చు కదా, అంటే నన్ను తప్పించుకోవడానికి వెళ్తున్నారా ఆఫీస్కి అని అడిగినాను. So I think a lot of people's secrets also will come out because of this. చాలా పని ఉంది నాకు ఆఫీస్లో అని ఒక ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్ యాక్టింగ్ చేసి చెప్తారు కదా, అలాంటి హస్బెండ్స్ అందరికి దే విల్ హ్యావ్ ఎ హ్యూజ్ ప్రాబ్లమ్.
I think the only two people who are going to make money in quarantine time lo are psychologists, psychiatrists, and divorce lawyers and vinnanu.
And of course Netflix and Amazon.
OTT platform ఇప్పుడు what $46 billion worldwide. So how much of an influence is OTT going to like take off now?
See,
what is your prediction, Ramu? Because see, Ramu, I ask you these questions because medicine nunchi atomic science varaku I can ask you about anything, and filmmaking and women and you know, so you do your research, so that's why my questions are to you.
See, I think it's already been happening even before the COVID-19 thing. The OTT platforms almost became like a parallel industry to the theater, you know, to the film theaters. And of course, ipuduన్న situation దాన్ని చాలా స్పీడప్ చేస్తాయి, you know. And already I'm sure you know many big films are being approached by the OTT platforms for direct release. And I
who
think,
are you talking to? The sorry, go ahead.
I think theaters they will be there, but they probably will be for big spectacles, you know, special effect and in terms of a group experience kind of a thing. So 1-to-1 where people are really film watchers for content, I think they will more and more stick to the OTT, you know. Content generation, story and dialogue and performances, that will be more in the OTT. Whereas spectacles and special effect genre, you know, they will be for big theaters is what I think, you know.
That's very, very interesting that you say that, because cinema చూడడానికి ఎందుకు రావాలి, అంత స్క్రీన్ కి ఎందుకు రావాలంటే it has to be a spectacle. It cannot be a little sweet love story anymore.
Correct. It means it's like, you know, when you're watching a story, you rather wanted a very one-to-one thing because genre is different on day, taste is different on day, sensibility is different on day. So I think it will give a much more variety in subject matters and things like that.
మీరు OTT మీద ఏమైనా చేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నారా?
I'm planning a lot. Already I'm Kadapa web series చేస్తాను already. It's already been
the
shot.
full thing.
Then one I'm doing in the underworld, and apart from that, I feel for example, this producer was approached by OTT platform, and he gave a logic which మన ఇండస్ట్రీలో కూడా ఇప్పుడు మనం ఆలోచన. తను ఏమన్నాడంటే, మీకు థియేటర్ కాస్ట్, రెంటల్స్ కాస్ట్, పబ్లిసిటీ కాస్ట్, డిస్ట్రిబ్యూటర్స్ కమిషన్ కాస్ట్, ఇవన్నీ తీసేస్తే ఆటోమేటిక్గా మీకు ఎంత వస్తుందో అంత ఇస్తాను. సో యూ విల్ థింక్ because we don't realize the making cost is also being burdened by all these extra things.
Avunu.
And the OTT suddenly is cutting that off completely.
Avunu.
So the future, I think, is people will aim it to make the cost on OTT platforms and take theaters as a bonus, the majority. I'm not talking about the big films.
Yeah.
Big films are different. Medium range to low budget films, they will make it in the cost which will be absorbed by the OTT. You know? And then depending on how good the film comes, then they might have the additional thing of publicity cost and distribution cost extra to do a theatrical release. So I think that's a great advantage for content makers because they don't need to be burdened with their extra, which is not directly coming spent on the film.
ట్రూ అదే అంటున్నా ఇప్పుడు నాకు ఒక్క ఛాన్స్ అంటారు చూడండి చాలా ఛాన్స్లు ఉన్నాయి టర్న్ యువర్ స్టోరీస్ ఇంటూ నౌ డిజిటల్ ఇస్ ద కింగ్ అంతే కదా ఎన్ని స్టోరీస్ వచ్చినా సరిపోవు ఇప్పుడు సో పీపుల్ కమింగ్ టు అ థియేటర్ ఫీలింగ్ సేఫ్ వాడు కరోనా ఉందా నాకు అది తెచ్చుకుంటానా ఇంటికి వెళ్తానా నా పిల్లలకి ఇస్తానా అని వ్యాక్సిన్ వచ్చేంత వరకు ఆ గిలి భయం జనాల్లోకి వచ్చేసింది అని ఉండిపోయింది కూడా. So I think it's going to take a while to get a bunch of people together.
No, I'm not so sure the people will be scared to come to theater. ఎందుకంటే జనాలు అసలు ఎవరు పట్టించుకోరు. మనం అనుకుంటాం కానీ ఇప్పుడు కాలిఫోర్నియాలో బీచెస్ ఓపెన్ చేస్తే అంత పెద్ద డెత్ రేట్ ఉన్న కంట్రీలో యుఎస్లో and everybody flock to the beaches. I don't think people generally take it as seriously as the media and the leaders take, you know. Ignorance తోనా లేకపోతే ఏమవుతుంది చూద్దాం అని ఒక యాటిట్యూడ్ అనేది we can't say.
Because వాళ్ళ rhythm, their lifestyle is abruptly stopped. You don't want to.
You won't really think it will come to you. Nobody believes it. అదే ఎక్కడో అవుతా ఉంది అని అనుకుంటారు కానీ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ I'm in my office right now. It's a 3-story building. And ఒక పెళ్ళి అంటే 14-15 people ఉన్నారు. None of them take it seriously, you know.
One second, my daughter has a question. ఏంటి త్వరగా చెప్పు.
Can JP write the upline, like the upline when I'm writing about pink?
Yeah. Okay. She had a question about her homework.
Okay.
Correct గా live లో ఉన్నప్పుడే వస్తాయి questions. Apple, come here, say hi to Ram. Oh, I have to find that picture, Ramu picking up my baby. Look how big she is now.
Hi. My advice is don't ever do homework. Don't listen to your mom.
That's why you're on my headphones and not on hers.
Oh. I hope she.
నాకు తెలుసు ఇలాంటి అడ్వైస్ ఏదో ఇస్తారని. How is it being a granddaddy, Ramu? Will you talk about it? No? Have you seen her? Have you seen it? Is it weird? Is it another life of a life? ఎలా ఉంటుంది నీకు అసలు నీ థాట్ అసలు నీ బ్రెయిన్ ప్రాసెస్ ఏమైందో చెప్పు.
Well, anyway, since you know it is going to happen, it's going to come, I was prepared so that I did not die of heart attack.
But when you saw it, did you die?
I know the scare.
Did something else happen?
No, nothing. Because
Nothing?
I'm not a family guy. I'm not into kids. I'm not into any kind of those kind of emotions. So it did nothing to me. Yeah.
Was it fun to see another family member though, like your kin, your blood? No. Ramu, really, you have no emotion at all.
See, emotion లేకుండా ఎవరు ఉండరు.
నా క్వశ్చన్ ఎమోషన్ లేకుండా అంత ఎమోషన్ తో సినిమా ఎలా తీస్తారు? Like one Rangila to one.
See, emotions controlling you and you controlling emotions, there's a difference.
Explain that.
I'm saying, feeling emotion and depending upon that to feel a sense of high is different compared to I am feeling. My emotion is when I listen. See, emotion is nothing but feeling at the end of the day. Okay, you are feeling. Any life form is feel for that matter. Okay, not only human things. So I have a feeling when I watch a nice film. I feel when I meet an interesting.
That angle is nice. Keep it like that.
I love to see a beautiful woman. I like to enjoy spending time with a beautiful woman. That's also a feeling. So I am very specific about what emotions make me feel. In which families and gods and social work and these things don't come. Yeah, that's what I mean actually. Yeah.
Good. That chala clarity
I'm very
icharu.
selfish and self-centered. I only feel about what makes me feel good. And
Ramu, ఇది
let's
చెప్పడం
be
కూడా చాలా కష్టం అందరికి. You're not the only one. There are many like you, but they camouflage it into people likability, not being able to, afraid to live their life. No, no, unapologetically, you live your life. I love you for that. And there is no judgment to you should be a certain way, but understanding Kosam, because I'm completely opposite to everything you said. It's family and emotion and drama and social work. I'm completely opposite. I guess that's why we like each other. We're such opposites.
yes.
We tolerate and learn in the different aspect. ఈ టైంలో ఈ క్వారంటైన్ టైంలో తెలియని ఫ్రెండ్స్ దగ్గర అయ్యారు బికాజ్ మన హసల్ బసన్ లో ఉన్న వాళ్ళు కాకుండా కొత్త ఐడియాస్ కొత్త థాట్స్ ఉన్న వాళ్ళతో నేను కనెక్ట్ అవ్వగలిగాను. Who have you been in touch with who has uh, really like-minded people antar kada? Do you have any like-minded people around you or
To start with, my friends are ఎప్పుడు లేరు ఇప్పుడు లేరు. And I don't ever have friends because friends is something I feel you need them for certain emotional dependence or a certain kind of a కష్టం వచ్చినప్పుడు లేకపోతే my entertainment is not dependent upon human beings most of the times. I only meet interesting people. Interesting people like ఎవరు sometimes cops, sometimes gangsters, sometimes extreme people because our experiences in a, I find myself very what do you call updated and my understanding of the human psychology increases. So I rather spend there. Or documentaries చాలా ఎక్కువ చూస్తాను. Otherwise, when human interaction, now completely it is limited only to the people I'm working with at that time on any project. Otherwise, on a personal level, I have zero contact with anybody.
what is a documentary that you recently saw that you really thought, wow?
I love the Vietnam War. It's on Netflix. It's one of the most amazing things I've seen. And it's not just about the war. It's about such a powerful country in America can make such fundamental mistakes towards such a small country like Vietnam. It's like a very, very big eye-opener. అంటే మనం విన్నాం చాలాసార్లు ఇప్పటి నుంచి వచ్చాను. To see it in detail, that was what the Vietnam War documentary was about. Yeah.
So that's a good one. So there you go, people. There is Vietnam War on Netflix. That's amazing. So how are you eating? Are you quarantined with people or are you?
I'm not with. I'm not a foodie guy basically. So whatever.
I know. నేనే కదా వడ్డిచ్చేదని ఏం వడ్డిస్తున్నారో కూడా చూడరు, ఏదో తినేసి ఏదో వెళ్ళిపోతా ఉంటారు. సో అట్లీస్ట్ ఫుడ్ ఉండాలి కదా తినడానికి.
సో నేను ఆకలిస్తే గడ్డి కూడా తినేస్తాను. So I'm not at all into that. In fact, I'll tell you an anecdote. Mohan Babu loves food. He wants to eat something or the other. So when Rowdy shoot చేస్తున్నప్పుడు మాట్లాడితే వర్మ తినవయ్యా అనేది వేస్తారు. ఆమ్లెట్లు అప్పుడు నాకు ఒకరోజు చిరాకు వచ్చి మోహన్ బాబు గారు గొర్రెలు మేకలే కంటిన్యూస్ గా తింటాయి, సింహం ఒక్కసారి తింటాయని చెప్పి, మీరేమో పెద్ద సింహం లాంటి యాక్టరు మోహన్ బాబు డైలాగ్ కింగ్ అన్ని పేర్లు పెట్టుకుని మాటి మాటికి తింటే నాకు ఇంప్రెషన్ పోతుందని చెప్పి.
What did he do? Papa,
చెప్తావయ్యా వర్మ.
So what have you మీరు ఎప్పుడు సినిమాలు చూస్తూనే ఉంటారని తెలుసు, always updated, but what kind documentaries ఎక్కువ చూసారు ఈ quarantine time లో? What else have you been seeing a lot of?
I think I've been watching a lot of films in Netflix, Amazon, obviously you have the choice ultimate, in terms of whatever you want to see. And I would say, but in recent years, I think my fascination for documentaries have risen much more than feature films. Yes,
అవునా? Recent years అంటే ఎప్పటి నుంచి?
And ఇప్పుడు documentaries also, it is not like, for example, ఇప్పుడు భూమి తిరగటం ఆగిపోతే ఏమవుతుంది అనేది ఐ సా ఎ వీడియో. If it stops 1 kilometer per hour and it travels around 14,000 kilometers per hour, miles per hour. Roads ki 1
Mana
kilometer
bhumi.
tagipothe ఏమవుతుంది అని it was extraordinary, and I don't even understand how they could have done it. Those kind of visuals, how they would have made possible for a documentary, you know. So that is a kind of a social find. It's not a film, it's neither a documentary. It is just like a certain very unexpectedly entertaining way of seeing something. So I get into a lot of that stuff also. Documentary is not just about some educative system. That's not what I mean.
Yeah, nice. So what కరోనా కి మందు లేదు ప్రజలకి మందు లేదు అని ఎవరు ట్వీట్ చేశారు కదా. మీరు స్టాక్ పెట్టుకున్నారా? Nobody knew what was happening. How are you surviving?
I can't tell you the names of the people where I'm getting my supply from, for obvious reasons.
Obvious reasons, but as long as you're happy.
In fact, tweet could be better, no? I mean, I tagged KCR and KTR on that, saying that you're just raising the anger in the people's minds. ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళ ఇంట్లో మందు లేక వాళ్ళ పిల్లల్ని కొట్టేసి భార్యలను కొట్టేస్తున్నారు ఆ ఫ్రస్ట్రేషన్లో. సో ఐ థింక్ యూఆర్ నాట్ రియలైజింగ్ ఇట్, you know. And so I think it works. In fact, I don't know if you saw the queues outside the things which opened today.
Aim is social distancing.
Women in the line. That's the point.
Yeah,
సీఎం గారు ఇలాగ ఆడోళ్ళని కాపాడేయాలి తాగుబోతు భర్తల నుంచి అనుకుంటే అది యాక్చువల్గా దట్స్ లుక్స్ లైక్ ఇట్స్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ ఇన్ ద రివర్స్.
I saw that long, and there were only women in that long line.
Yes,
somewhere in
yes.
Karnataka.
Yeah.
But going forward, hello.
Yeah.
What are the books you've been reading, Ramu?
See, book reading actually, ఆపేసి చాలా రోజులు. I mean, years ago. I used to read before because.
Oh no, I'm sure. I'm surprised.
Because I think that is where the documentaries came in. The documentaries for me has replaced the books because an audio-visual narrative with as much like Vietnam web series, for example, it could have been a great book around 15 years back. But now the fact I can see and also in such detail, almost a 1 hour 40-minute each episode, about 9 episodes. So that will be the equivalent of maybe 2 huge volumes of books.
The timelines. Ramu, your voice is going karakara. Are you holding?
No. Now, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but there's a lot of disturbance for some reason.
I don't know.
But I can hear you. I can hear you. As long as did you, when I talk to you, you not coach feeling it. Sorry, I'm going to take one off. Kar. What I have is when do you that things are going to be normal, people are going to go back to working again. So even నాకు అనిపించేది ఏంటంటే even you're looking at the herd immunity, that if we get it and just get it and get over with it, we'll get better at it. But the numbers that are saying that anybody over 62 years of age are in dire danger of dying because it adds 30 years to your life. How do you feel? All these stuff going on around it, you've announced a movie with corona. You've already started your work on that, or announced chesi?
I like what Dr. Fauci said about this when people asked him about the timeline.
So much better.
Timeline అనేది అడిగితే he said the virus decides the timeline, not us. You know. సో మనం మన తృప్తి కోసం మే అండ్ జూన్ 1 జూలై ఇలాంటి రకరకాల టైమ్స్ వాడుతున్నాం, కానీ రైట్ నో వీఆర్ ఇన్ ద ప్రాసెస్ ఆఫ్ రెస్పాండింగ్ టు ద వైరస్, వాట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ డూయింగ్. అది తప్పైతే మనం ఒకలా చేస్తాం, ఎక్కువైతే ఇంకోలా చేస్తున్నాం. సో ద లీడర్ ఈస్ ద వైరస్ రైట్ నౌ. వీఆర్ ఇట్స్ ఫాలోవర్స్ as things stand today, possibly till the point of time we find a cure or a vaccine. That's how it is. So but my feeling is we are almost gone over the worst in whatever way. But of course it is not ప్రతి కంట్రీకి అప్లికబుల్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు అమెరికాలో అంత సివియర్గా ఉండి it already opened up some half of the states, I'm
And
sure in
I think they
some,
got a very bad strain of the virus.
yeah,
There,
whatever.
the horror stories are bad.
Correct. So we've been lucky so far, at least in comparison to Italy, US, and Spain. But like అంటే మనం స్టార్టింగ్లో మాట్లాడినట్టే I think it can't go on forever. At the end of the day, there has to be some kind of a cut-off point, which I think, especially when you don't have the. Because Sweden, I find it very interesting. I'm following that a lot. They don't have a lockdown at all, and there doesn't seem to be that much of a difference between them. Italy, Spain కన్నా తక్కువ ఉన్నాయి అక్కడ, నార్వే కన్నా ఎక్కువ ఉన్నాయి. So I think, like everybody is also saying that no one really knows exactly what to do because there's no precedent.
China, ఎక్కడో చదివాను, is already in human trials of some vaccine అని.
Yeah. So it can happen tomorrow,
Yeah.
or it might not
Yeah.
happen for a year. So nobody knows.
I
But
know it doesn't.
irrespective of that, I feel people will adapt.
I think that's a human mentality and our ఇది
Yeah.
ఏదొచ్చినా అడాప్షన్ అని. బట్ మన లైఫ్ టైమ్ లో, నీది మాది లైఫ్ టైమ్ లో ఇలాంటి ఒక పాండమిక్ వచ్చి కానీ వరల్డ్
Yes.
కమింగ్ టు అ స్టాప్ కానీ ఎప్పుడు జరగలేదు.
మన
యూనో
లైఫ్ టైం,
ఇలాంటి
no, even if you leave that, if somebody told 100 years back ఇలా జరిగింది అన్న కూడా మనం నమ్మం. మొత్తం వరల్డ్
నమ్మం.
అంతా లాక్డౌన్కి వచ్చేసింది. అలాంటిది మన లైఫ్ టైంలో మన కళ్ళెదురుగా జరుగుతుంది, విచ్ ఇస్ ద పాయింట్.
And at least we have the internet to communicate and know what is
Yeah,
happening
yeah.
around.
But that
You
also
know,
could be the actual problem, because 1918 Spanish flu వచ్చినప్పుడు nobody knew that there's something called Spanish flu. People were dying silently in all the countries. Nearly 8 crore people చచ్చిపోయారు.
అవును, అవును.
So I think because there's no communication, the world went on like the way it was, like people dying on the side, and it's only much later they realized that there's something called the Spanish flu came out.
Yeah, when the Spanish royal family passed away, అందుకని they called it the Spanish flu. Our
No, no,
time
no,
lo
no, no. That is not true. Spanish flu ఎందుకు వచ్చిందంటే, because at that
the
time the
name Spanish.
first World War was going on, and all the countries had a media blackout because of the war. So nobody was reporting except Spain, because Spain did not take part in the First World War. So the whole world thought the flu was happening only in Spain. That is the reason it called Spanish flu. In
Ah,
reality, the people who died in the US are more than Spain at that time.
oh my God.
Yeah, it is just like a misnomer. It's not like that it did not originate in Spain. That's the point.
Ah, so during times like this, at least manaki lockdown, I know you live in your mind, but as filmmakers, we live in so many different places and we travel, shooting kani, akkad kani, location kani, editing kani, music kani. When you're told not to go anywhere, when you're quarantined to be in a place, and you're given మనకని మనకింత టైం మనకు ఉన్నప్పుడు మన గురించి మనం ఏదో కొత్తగా తెలుసుకోవడము, అబౌట్ అదర్ థింగ్స్, లెర్నింగ్ న్యూ. నా ఫ్రెండ్స్ అందరూ కొత్త లాంగ్వేజెస్ నేర్చేసుకుంటున్నారు. అంత ప్రోగ్రెసివ్ గా నేను లేను కానీ, వాట్ ఈస్ దట్ థింగ్ దట్ యు లెర్న్డ్ న్యూ ఆర్ రీలెర్న్డ్ ఆర్ ఒక మిర్రర్ లాగా చూసుకున్నది, బికాస్ యు హ్యాడ్ సో మచ్ టైమ్ ఫర్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్?
I would say, I mean, I think I generally have this problem of being very impulsive and I'm in a rush most of the time. So ఇది కొంచెం నాకు కళ్ళు వేసి పెట్టింది. ఆగు అని I'm in a slightly, so I'm having probably more time to refine things I'm writing.
Oh, wow, that's
Yeah,
fantastic.
I think that is one thing which is I see a certain positiveness in me. But I think lockdown తీగానే మళ్ళీ నేను ఒరిజినల్ దానికి వస్తాను. ఇది ఇంకా ఉంటుందా అనేది నా hope. Yeah. But by the time,
And
by the lockdown తీసే టైంకి at least 2-3 స్క్రిప్ట్లు I would have done in this kind of a thing. Hopefully they will be better than my previous ones. Yeah.
fingers crossed.
Yeah.
మీ AM tweets కి మీ PM tweets కి అంత డిఫరెన్స్ ఎందుకుంటాయి?
I think చాలా మంది ఏమనుకుంటారంటే because of vodka I do that. The reason
నేను
is,
అడగకుండా అడిగేసాను చూసారా?
the reason is I tweet in the night mainly because that is the time I get free. And also I check out the TV, I check out what's happening in the news, and then I respond whatever depending on what's happening. You know? But technically నేను అన్ని ఎప్పుడుగానే పిచ్చిగా ఉంటాను. The tweets come out of my madness and not out of my vodka.
But
And I
you
done that for
contradict
everybody.
yourself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because contradiction is nothing but what I thought in the morning is different, what I thought in the evening was different. All of us change our minds.
అందరినీ కెలుకుతావు రాము నువ్వు పెద్ద 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 వాళ్ళని అందరినీ యూ గెట్ దీస్ డెత్ థ్రెట్స్ దీస్ aren't you scared like ఎందుకు కెలకడం అనిపించదా
నాకు ఇరిటేట్ చేయడం ఇష్టం.
ఎందుకలా
Yes, because I don't get it, and I just want. When I get.
is that again about human psychology see what I can do to
Yeah,
them money
absolutely, absolutely. No.
you're a sadist has
Okay,
anybody told you that
I give an example. కానీ ఇప్పుడు నేను ఒక పర్సన్ మెన్షన్ చేసినప్పుడు యూజువల్గా దట్ వన్ పర్సన్ విల్ నాట్ టేక్ ఇట్ యాజ్ సీరియస్లీ. వేరే వాళ్ళు తీసుకుంటారు, ఏ రాము చూసాడు ఇంటర్వ్యూ చేసాడు అని. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నేను వన్స్ మేబీ కపుల్ ఆఫ్ ఇయర్స్ బ్యాక్ ఐ సెడ్ కేసీఆర్ is more beautiful than Ileana అని it will be. దానికి the people made such a huge noise. But the point is, then I gave my definition of beauty is about attraction. Okay? Ileana song నేను 3 నిమిషాలు కానీ ఎక్కువ చూడలేను, బట్ కేసీఆర్ మాట్లాడుతూ ఉంటే నేను 2 గంటలు చూడగలుగుతాను.
True.
So that is because of the intensity and his the severity in his talk and his voice, blah blah, whatever it is, you know. So our context మొత్తంలో కేసీఆర్ ఇలియానా కన్నా అందగాడు అని చెప్పారు.
వాహ్ వాహ్
Actually, that's a compliment, you know. Then but
Yeah.
people think he's making fun.
సో ఇట్స్ misconstrued బట్ మీరు రాసేది అదొక్కే రాస్తారు
బ్రెయిన్స్ లేకపోతే అది పిచ్చితనం అనిపిస్తుంది, బ్రెయిన్స్ ఉంటే అర్థం అవుతుంది.
మీరు ఇంత క్లారిటీగా అక్కడ ట్వీట్స్ లో ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయరు కదా మరి అలా
అది దట్ ఈస్ ద హోల్ పాయింట్. అన్ని ఇప్పుడంగా స్పూన్ తోటి నోట్లో పెట్టినట్టు పెడితే ఇంకా ఆడి బ్రెయిన్స్ ఎందుకు అర్థం చేసుకో. దెన్ ఐ కాంట్ డమ్ మై సెల్ఫ్ డౌన్ బికాస్ సంబడి ఎల్స్ ఇస్ డమ్.
So do you who are the people who intellectually stimulate you other than documentaries and before books? Niku ani you know that person I like talking to that person ani ala evaraina unnara?
I mean, a few people maybe that they're not well known. There are probably some writer here and there and some person.
Yeah, వాళ్ళ పేర్లు తెలియకపోయినా what do they do? Just curious. రాముని ఇంటెలెక్చువల్ గా స్టిమ్యులేట్ చేసే వాళ్ళు ఎవరు అని
I mean, some of them could be in the industry, and probably, but to be frank, there are very few people who can actually hold my interest, you know, in terms of having a conversation. But I would say there are 3 to 4 people.
That you say, okay, let me see what they think about a certain issue. That
Yeah.
what they think would
Correct.
matter
Which is
in their
also
point of view.
Yeah, correct. Which is also the reason I need this very extreme people. You know, for example, if I'm making a film on Disha, for example, the rape which happened, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I met a lot of police officers who are involved in the course of that, and then to hear the details from them about how it happened and all that, there is something నాకు ఇప్పుడు అలా knowledge రావడానికి ఛాన్స్ లేదు. You know, ఆ kind of extreme situations లో how people reacted అనేది that is fascinating. That interests me a lot, because so I like to talk to people who are in situations which excite and interest me. So they could
and
be
then
belonging
you'll have
to they could
and
be
then
belonging.
and
I
then
mean,
you'll have titles like Kamma, Kapu, Reddy.
yeah,
ఇది కెలకడం కాకపోతే there was
it is
really
true. I mean, that is the whole point. I mean, that's whether you call it Calcutta or whatever. I mean, eventually, I'm a filmmaker and I respond as a person to something.
and
I
there is
see.
no fear. There is no fear that you're going against such sensitive subjects that could
See,
probably been avoided.
I feel life is about living the way you want to live, and if you have to be scared to say or do whatever you want, then you might not as well not live. That's my philosophy.
But you live in a society and you have to be in what
I do. I
relates
mean,
to.
but I have an understanding of what can happen and what cannot happen. It's not like I'm like stupidly and blindly
Going around killing people just because you
Yeah,
don't
it's not
like
that.
them.
Yeah, it's not like I remember a madman's thing. He said if you go and fight a big guy, that is not guts, that is stupidity. You know, they say that. You know, because courage also has a certain limitation.
Limitations.
You can't say that I'm not scared of the tiger, and if you go and fight, you will get killed. No, that is being dumb. That is not being courageous. No. So, but whenever I say something, I have a fundamental understanding of what I'm getting. By ఉదాహరణకు ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్తాను.
చెప్పండి.
మంగళగిరి ఆడియో ఫంక్షన్కి నేను విజయవాడలో కేఎల్సి దాంట్లో some 30,000 crowd was there. A lot of people were shouting. We hardly were 15-20 people on the stage. నేను సడన్గా అరవటం ఆపకపోతే ఎరగొడతానని చెప్పి జనాలు. The whole crowd became silent. Okay. Now people thought I was anti-Pradasala. They will retaliate and అనుకున్నారు అందరూ. అంటే to use a line like that for a 30,000 crowd. Okay, then someone asked me, ఏంటి మీ పిచ్చ ఏంటి ఎలా చేస్తారు అంటే
అయ్యో
ఇట్స్ నాట్ ట్రూ. ఇట్స్ నాట్ అబౌట్ గట్స్ ఆర్ మ్యాడ్నెస్. 30,000 మంది ఉన్నారంటే గొర్రెలు. నేను 30 మంది ఉంటే అనివాను కాదు. 30 people will take it personally. 30,000 will not take it personally. Because each of them will feel small in the crowd. 30 will be less and they will take it personally. I would have never said it if there's 30 people. You know? So that is called intelligence. That is not guts. You know?
How do నీ బ్రెయిన్ ఎలా అలా పుట్టడమే ఇలా పుట్టారా మీరు? లేకపోతే was it because you were curious about life? I know you read a lot from Freud to Aristotle to Socrates to everything. That
See, fundamental answer to that for me is about in a very early life I stopped believing in God. Okay,
that was a big shift.
Yeah, because God namanappudu emuthundante automatically you will also stop believing in your elders, because elders more or less reflect the same thing they heard from their elders, and all of them will have some kind of a root in religion and social values. So the moment you stop believing that, you start asking questions. You won't follow anymore. You want to question everything what is being told. You know, that is what develops your analytical power. That's what I think will be the reason. And why I stopped believing in God is also because my grandmother, my father's mother, and Ramkoti Puskal Rasaru, continuously morning తెలిసినప్పటి నుంచి రాత్రి వరకు. And she had a kind of a mental, physical breakdown, a paralysis, and she died with very miserably suffering for 5 years. So I thought, ఇన్ని రామకోట్లు రాసి ఈవిడికి ఎలా అయితే ఏంటి దేవుడు అనేది, maybe that was one of the beginning stages I started
questioning God,
questioning and disbelieving and things like that. And then I went into a lot into Eastern philosophy. You know, and
which philosophy? Which philosophy influenced you to?
By the end of my engineering college, I almost finished reading from Marx to Descartes to Immanuel Kant to Arthur Schopenhauer, Friedrich Nietzsche. You know, and I finally settled to an extent on Ayn Rand, because I think she's the most modern philosopher of all time, because she's like a derivative from starting from Nietzsche and Schopenhauer, but she made it on a very constructive, you know, in terms of applicable philosophy.
An architect. Yeah.
And so I would say that, but there also it's not like I'm following or something, because I twist it to my convenience. So most importantly,
మనం ఎవరు అని తెలుసుకున్నాం.
అనే క్లారిటీ ఉన్నప్పుడే you can use the philosophy for your own benefit. So I made a masala of all the best things I liked and made a cocktail for myself.
And which you're enjoying every sip every day.
Yes.
And what a treat it is. So
and
it doesn't really bother you. మీ గురించి అలా ట్రోల్ చేస్తా ఉన్నప్పుడు మీరు పెట్టిన ట్వీట్లకి, సో there is a glass in front of you, you just see it and enjoy it, but
in fact ఎవరన్నా నన్ను పొగిడితే నాకు చాలా బోర్. I get bored to death, and I feel, you know, I feel almost angry, because it is such a predictable thing. And I don't believe in constructive criticism or anything. I think it is an entertaining line. If, for example, you know, I happened to see something when I tweeted about our thing. You said, talk to Ramu about, I'm talking to Ramu about future of cinema. And talk about our future, I like those lines, because they're created in themselves. And I think we just undervalue them. ఇన్ ద పాస్ట్ ఎవరో ఒక్కళ్ళు ఒక గొప్ప కామెంట్ బెర్నార్డ్ షా చెప్పాడు, లేకపోతే ఎవరు రొనాల్డ్ రీగన్ చెప్పాడు, ఇలాంటి ఫేమస్ ఆల్బర్ట్ ఐన్స్టైన్ చెప్పాడు అని. ఇప్పుడు సోషల్ మీడియాలో దేర్ విల్ బి థౌజండ్స్ ఆఫ్ జీనియసెస్ టు కమ్ అప్ విత్ వన్ లైనర్స్.
అవును.
I think that's what the
Thousands
social
of
media did. It
geniuses.
just kind of, yeah, thousands, and they are geniuses. Maybe they're
Yeah.
just one line or two lines, but you can't take away the art.
I call them keyboard warriors. Keyboard and cultures war
Yeah.
kelpotuntaru.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And looking at all of that. Wow. So Ramu, nothing has changed. You're in your head. You see a
Yes.
lot of you think we'll come back right into మనం ఇంతకు ముందు ఎలా ఉన్నామో అలాగే త్వరగా వచ్చేస్తాం, because as humans
Absolutely.
we want to get back to normal what we knew. నేను ఇంకా new life coming, new things, new difference. You don't think so?
Absolutely.
అవుతానే back to normal
And I
అనిపిస్తుంది.
think we'll all be better off, the world will be a better off place after Corona. Because after any kind of a disaster or a kind of a tragedy, the world has actually rushed forward to becoming a better place. And I can tell you hundreds of examples in that. Because the technology will change, and we have experiences which we haven't had before, and that will expand our horizon of thinking. And
And
then
consciousness,
we
yeah.
will get so many new words in our vocabulary, like social distancing, or in coronavirus, tagala, elanti kind of things, and we'll have jokes, and we'll have subject matters inspired from the coronavirus tragedy. I think the whole world will be a far better place after this lockdown.
And even relationships are
Yeah.
redefining
And we will
themselves
change, we will
completely.
know the realities of people, and I'm
Yeah.
sure people would have been bored with marriages in the last 2 months, I think,
Things shift
because
and
they
change.
can't
Kids are
escape.
looking at their
Yeah.
parents. What's the first thing you're going to do? Corona అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఇది నేను ఫస్ట్ చెయ్యాలనుకుంటున్నానని.
Now, absolutely, I don't think for me there's a difference at all, because
You don't miss going out,
no, not at all.
not being on shooting
No, I think
location.
I'm taking
మీరు
a
అక్కడ
different
కూర్చొని ఏమైనా డైరెక్ట్
experience.
చేసేస్తున్నారా?
I'm
అక్కడ
planning a
కూర్చొని
lot.
డైరెక్ట్
Yes.
అదే కదమ్మా రాము ఏంటి, హౌ కెన్ హి నాట్ అంటున్నాను నేను.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ramu, it's almost an hour, so I really want to thank you to coming on the live and entertaining all our viewers today. And is there anything you want us to take away from this interview? To మా thought లో కూడా ఒక question వేయచ్చు కదా, ఇది ఆలోచించు అని. Tell us something what we should really ponder.
See, people never listen to advice, which is what I
No,
realized,
what should we
because
ponder? అయ్యో,
bro, వర్షం వస్తుంది.
I hope
వర్షం
I didn't lose
వచ్చినప్పుడు,
you.
can you hear me?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
got stuck.
ఇప్పుడు వర్షం వచ్చినప్పుడు you either take it, you have a car, or maybe there is too much of water, or there is a bike will get wet, or you might get fever, and should you not go and try to do something, you have options like this, but you can't do anything about the rain. So I think coronavirus is a hard rain, you know. So you have to think of various ways without wasting your time on negatively thinking about the rain, because that's like a destiny, that's like nature, that's like something which you cannot, not in your control. So I feel you should never waste time on anything which is not in your control, and think around it or behind it or below it or above it. That's what I do. I think the best thing for us to do is to do whatever we can, watch movies, watch porn, and make whatever can
How
you
much
can
have
come
you
out
been
of your
watching?
house. I watch a lot, which is a, yeah. But that for me is an energizer. Yeah.
Energizer.
It's like people drink, what is it? Drink, I forgot the name. I don't drink the
Amrutam.
soft drinks. Amrutam, no,
So,
not Amrutam.
లేదు, what? Coca-Cola, Red Bull,
No.
Red Bull.
Red Bull, yeah. Yes.
There you go. మనం చాలా memes కోసం రెడీ అవుతున్నారు జనాలు, మనమే ఇచ్చేసాం. Red Bull and porn, same comparison for Ramu. Great. Wow. Ramu, thank you. You always, every time I interview you or talk to you even, నాకు ఇంటర్వ్యూ లాగానే అనిపిస్తుంది. I always learn, I always question, I agree to disagree, and then I agree, and then I disagree. um you మీరు నన్ను ఇంటెలెక్చువల్ గా స్టిమ్యులేట్ చేస్తారు, pushing boundaries, making me rethink what I know. it's I love hanging out with you. You're a cool guy, just as mad as you are. I love your madness.
I don't
Thank
like
you.
the word cool guy. I'm okay if you say I'm terrible or
Mad.
terrible.
I called you mad too.
Yeah, because
I
cool
love your
sounds like
madness.
very, like very.
Average.
Yeah, yeah.
No, my
It's
cool
like
is very
mixed.
different.
Okay.
I like extreme people too. Yeah. No. Yeah.
And let me finish with saying one thing: you're looking extremely sexy and beautiful.
Ah, thank you.
Yes.
Director Garu, you made my day. Date's ready.
Yes. Sign off.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.